Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your Fortress for Wellbeing. My name is Jana Denton House, and today we're going to talk about the one thing that you should stop doing if you want to have a perfect marriage. Now, I know I probably lured you in with that enticing title, and the truth is I have a whole different definition of what perfect is. So I'll get into that, but before we do, I want to get into what you need to stop doing in order to achieve that kind of marriage that you want to have. And it's really simple, but it's really hard to do because it's so prevalent. We do it without thinking. And that is comparing your marriage with other people's marriages. Now, what you're really doing is you're comparing your marriage with what you think other people's marriages are like, because the honest truth is that you don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. That's why sometimes it happens that you have this couple that you think, wow, they're doing so fantastic, they're wonderful, and then all of a sudden they're in their year of patience and then getting divorced. How does that happen? Well, because marriage is kind of a taboo topic, we don't talk about it very much. So we can get these little snippets or little images of what people might want us to perceive their marriage to be like. And then we make this whole big story about what they do. They pray together every morning and evening, and they serve together, and they never fight. The damage it does is that it paralyzes you because you think you're alone in your struggle. You feel like you're the only one who has arguments. You're the only one who maybe doesn't find your spouse attractive anymore. You're the only one, yada, yada, yada. I promise a lot of what I do with couples in my coaching practice is just tell them that they're normal, that their struggles are so very common. In fact, just the other day, I had a client say to me, Jana, you have us figured out. And I was like, you know what? It's a pattern I see. It's so common. You're not the only ones. I want you to feel the freedom to just be with what you have and know that what you have is probably so very similar to what all the other marriages have. You get what I'm saying? And what that does is that allows you to just take the next step forward rather than thinking that your marriage is somehow fatally flawed, or that you made the wrong choice, or that you weren't meant to be together, or that you're not in love enough, or whatever the story that you're making up, because that's paralyzing and it stops you from making any sort of progress. So now my second point is redefining what a perfect marriage looks like. Now, I really had this perception that one day, my husband and I would just never argue, that we would be so smooth at consultation, that we would feel always connected. We would never have disconnection. We would feel intimate. We would have fun. We would be friends, yada, yada, yada. And as the years have gone on, and as we've done a ton of work in our own marriage, and as I've kind of grown into this professional career, I realize very strongly that it's never going to be like that. And it's a goal that is that we could chase forever and then constantly feel like we were failing or dissatisfied because we never reached that state of perfection. What I've come to realize is that a perfect marriage looks very messy. There are times when you feel insanely connected and you laugh together and you're having a great time and you're supporting each other and you feel totally fulfilled. And there are other times where you feel disconnected, where you feel like strangers, where you feel lonely and you don't feel like you're getting the support and encouragement and love that you really desire and need. It's going to look very much like this. There are going to be some low points, there are going to be some high points, and there's going to be stuff in between. And I figure this is going to go on for the rest of our marriage. And you know what? Instead of making me feel hopeless about that, I feel relieved and I feel full of hope and I feel satisfied, because what we have right now is what I'd consider to be pretty darn perfect. So I hope that this little video has given you some hope and relief that you're not alone in your struggle. It doesn't mean anything about if your marriage is viable enough or if you made the right choice or not. You should know that other couples are struggling with exactly the same things as you. It's just we're not talking about it. That's why it creates this illusion. You see these pictures on Facebook and you're like, oh, they're so in love, or they both look awesome and they're in great shape and they're good looking. I don't know what we think perfect couples are. We have all these images in our head. So you are in a perfect marriage, perfectly imperfect, just like mine, and it's just about the next step. What I hope in the future is that marriage is not such a taboo topic, and so we're way more real with each other, and we have kind of realistic expectations about what can happen in a marriage, and the ups and downs that are inevitable with life. We're always going to be growing, and that's just the nature of our existence on this planet. We want that. We want to grow our souls. So have a fantastic day. I hope that this has been encouraging for you, and I will see you next week. Bye.